tony.taylor@yahoo.com. I work with the Dad's Custody Support Group.com, and my number is 515-401-8630. There's also some other good resources out there for you: iowafathers.com, American Coalition for Fathers and Children, and Fathers for Justice. I'm currently looking at a Senate Study Bill 1091, and it was introduced, or it's actually proposed to the Judiciary Committee, and what it's concerned about is an act relating to the payment of costs of reasonable attorney fees related to paternity and adoption proceedings. So what it's talking about is lies. What happens is lawyers and liars have very, very little difference. You know, I have respect for very few lawyers. Matter of fact, Jesus had respect for very few lawyers. You know, the only profession that Jesus condemned when he was on earth was the prostitutes. No, it was the lawyers. Okay, and so what happens is they just lie so much. It says reasonable attorney fees. What it is that they just leave big holes in their discussions. Fact of the matter is that the judges rule against men 97% of the time. And some judges that we research, we can find no case where they've ever ruled in the favor of a man for primary custody of their children. And so some of these lawyers will lie and say, well, you know, I win cases all the time. I'm sorry, you win. What do you mean by win? Well, he gets to see his kids once a year for 5 minutes at McDonald's. That makes him a McDad, you know. And so that's a win. No, that's called lying. So the point is the judges just categorically vote against men, and so to assign reasonable attorney fees to be paid by the guy who loses the case. What that means in English, people, is that they're putting, as Scripture says, these lawyers, they lay heavy burdens to be born and will not lift one finger to help them. But man, do they got nice suits and nice cars. And so that's what's going on here. Is they're just signing a gravy train. There's a very incestuous relationship between lawyers and judges and politicians. You know, the #1 contributor to judges' campaigns are lawyers. And so the lawyers take care of the judges take care of the lawyers. And 90% of all politicians are former lawyers. And they're still members of the bar, so many of them. And so it's just a big love feast. But what they're feeding into the furnace is dads, these simple guys that strap it on every day, put their work boots on, and go out there and work in the cold and the rain and the sleet, and come home to their wives, and their wives cut their throats in divorce court. And the top 6 reason women leave their husband has nothing to do with being beat up or adultery. It has everything to do with just needing a change. You know, I think I'll have a change. I think I'll steal your car, your dog, your children, and all your money for the next quarter of a century because I feel that I need a change. You know, and so these lawyers are making money and making merchandise of the souls of many. Their money doesn't come from just nowhere, and they obviously don't produce anything. So what they do is they just rob people with crappy legislation like this. So it's just reprehensible that these people would just set up this little, you know, love feast, you know, at the expense of hardworking, you know, men. And you want to know why people don't want to get married. You want to know why people just want to, if at all, just live with girls and then just ditch them, you know, and run off. You know, why would someone want to get married and have children with this kind of nonsense legislation being signed into law shamelessly? These people have no conscience.